All right, Taurus, welcome to your January of 2016 Sidereal Astrology forecast. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to this type of astrology, do check the description down below because the signs are different. All right, so Taurus, this month we've got things kicking off on the 5th with a Mercury going retrograde, and it's going to be right on the cusp between your 8th and your 9th house. So maybe in regards to the 9th house, very slightly, maybe around the 5th, there's some rehashing and rethinking about your life path, where you're headed, what life is about, these kinds of philosophical questions of the 9th, and also overarching perspectives of your life. But the bulk of his retrograde is going to be in your 8th house, and it's going to be all the way through the 25th. So with that 8th house, you're going to have a new moon here on the 9th, and so there's new beginnings shaping up with deeper connections, with having healthy bonds, healthy attachments, releasing yourself from unhealthy attachments, getting deeper just with yourself in general. And there's a lot to learn about that this month. So rehashing, rethinking about those deeper values and about things relating to, spirituality, transformation, and healing is a good way of working with this. But I think especially around the 9th, just planting new seeds with that can be very transformative. It's going to be conjoining up to Pluto. So being open to change, getting rid of old energies associated with too much transformation, too much healing, or whatever it might be, or not enough, making change there. And with this inspiration with Uranus, it's maybe wanting to break free, but keeping it all nice and balanced, nice and grounded with that. Maybe wanting to break free with these ideals and visions, which have been very high for you with Uranus in that 11th house. So that's the beginning of the month, as well as Jupiter going retrograde in your 4th house. So there's perhaps been a lot of wisdom being gained in the external environment in regards to maybe your health, maybe your home, your family, your roots in some sense. Maybe just feeling good about it or optimistic about it. But now all that goes retrograde for the next roughly 5 months, where you can really rehash and rethink and redo perhaps some of these 4th house things, whether it's renovation around the house, whether it's reestablishing relationships with family, whatever it is. It's a good time to reflect on those roots of your life. Now also around that new moon, we're going to have Venus going over Saturn on the 9th. So here, with all of this perhaps seriousness or discipline or maturity that's been very important with your one-to-one connections, Venus, your ruler, goes over Saturn and really lifts that up a little bit. But I think you guys, because it is your ruler, are going to be feeling more Saturnine, feeling more disciplined, more pragmatic, more patient in your approach, hopefully, to those one-to-one connections. But it's a great time to really solidify it and get serious with it, especially with your ruler here. And it can really herald a whole year, in fact, of new beginnings with relationships for you with your ruler there. But you can enjoy them nonetheless. With Venus, it's always about enjoying those one-to-one connections. So seeing how you can enjoy it while take it seriously at the same time, or have that mature approach to them. Now, around the 18th, Mars does trine up to Neptune. So very nice here with Mars's energy, which he isn't in the best position here in Virgo in your 5th house. But there's been a lot of assertiveness probably to express yourself, the past couple months, maybe to follow your interests or your hobbies. And that's great. And this month you could be actually getting some insights, maybe about career, maybe about the work, anything on that big picture level. And it could be easy going with the work as well. Maybe you are getting quite a bit done because there's that faith or trust, or you have more giving nature in your work or what have you. But it's all linking with your self-expression. So expressing yourself could be very nice, could be very easygoing, at least in contrast to earlier in the month and last month in December, and pretty much for the past couple months with Mars in Virgo. But it's still about you taking it nice and slow and pragmatic, as you do when you express yourself, which is Virgo in your 5th house. Now on the 21st, the sun goes into Capricorn. So here I think your focus is going to shift more into the expansive views of life, astrology, philosophy, if it's spirituality, really expanding your horizons. So with this energy, it's a good area to focus on. It's a good time to connect to nature this later part of the month. Maybe do some like traveling or connecting to, matters abroad or people abroad, whatever it might be with that. University studies is also 9th house. And that's where you're going to have the new moon and new beginnings next month. Now on the 22nd, Mercury, while he's retrograde, is going to go over Pluto for the 2nd time. He already did this back in November. So there is things changing specifically with your finances or your material aspects, as well as that self-expression again. So be open to that change there. And again, be open to being open, be open to really exploring your deep interests, your deep connections in life, whether it's internal or external. And with that, you'll find that there's a lot of transformations happening with you on that deeper level, with your communications, as it will be for everybody, but more specifically with how you express yourself and even what your values are. Your values are changing big time this month. Now on the 23rd, we got a full moon in Cancer. So you've got now an illumination and culmination of anything that maybe you've been involved with over the past 6 months, involving communication, involving socializing, this more practical aspect of life. It could be work, it could be, anything that you're involved with in terms of correspondence, and really just seeing the more practical aspects of life and balancing the practical with what's possible. Because with your sun going into the 9th, there's a lot of focus on the possibilities, but with the moon here, you can really ground it and really apply it. Okay, it could be maybe books or learning or whatever you've been doing the past 6 months. Now, also on the 23rd, that's when Jupiter's going to go over the North Node exact. Okay, and that's going to be heralding this new beginning with your 4th house of home, of family, of your roots in life for the next 2 years. It's a lot of positive energy, a lot of positive direction here with the North Node in Leo in your 4th house. And it's already been expansive with Jupiter. So now you get a dose of both things this early part of the year, where you're seeing what's possible, but at the same time you have that clarity or direction, or at least you're learning more about your life path, as we all are. But how your life path is really shifting you maybe in the direction of connecting to home or connecting to your health or with family or what have you. So very nice aspect there, and that's going into February. Then also on the 23rd, Venus goes into Sag. So there is this enjoyment really to connect to things on a deeper level. This is when I think things are really going to lighten up, because you would have already had your 2nd Mercury Pluto conjunction. Okay, the next one will be on the 30th, the last one, after Mercury goes direct on the 25th. But by this point, there's a lot of enjoyment. I think you're just willing and wanting to, since it is your ruler, to just get deep and do that stuff, whatever it is. If it's relationships, if it's with yourself, whatever, speaking the truth, that kind of thing. Now, Mars goes into your 6th house here to top off the month on the 27th. And so the shift in drive, where I think it has been to express yourself, I think you're going to have even more momentum and drive to take care of the routine, the health, the work environment, starting yourself through work perhaps. And this is a much better placement for Mars to be in. I mean, it's a neutral placement, but it's better than his placement in Virgo, where it's much more clunky, and he's in that enemy sign. So for all of us, a lift of motivations and drives. For you, I think, involving work and the daily stuff. All right, Taurus, so if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Hope you guys have an awesome January, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.